You have landed on Planet EDM. With transportation provided by Cube World Media. Come explore a place where the difficult takes a day and the impossible takes a week. Your one-stop shop for live media, events, and music. This is the portal where we delve deeper into the soul of EDM culture to bring to life a world that is unique to itself, where the possibilities are endless and the opportunities are plentiful. Welcome. You have now entered the matrix of Cube World Media. Here is your host, Kevin Maxwell.
This is your host, Kevin Maxwell with Cube World Media, and here it's my pleasure to have my guest, DJ Full Auto. Welcome to the studios, brother. How you doing?
Thank you, man. I'm stoked. I'm sweaty.
Yeah, I know, and you're sweaty from pretty crazy set you just put on, huh?
I'm telling you, man, DJing is a very physical sport, man. You get your cardio in when you do a set.
It is. You had my fingers buzzing off the VJ. I was tapping the lights. I couldn't stop, but it was beautiful, man. I love the BPMs and the high energy you brought and the really cool ad-libs and everything you put in was unique, you know? It's
Thank
different.
you, bro. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me, man. This place is so cool.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, and it was a pleasure, getting to know you through Mark's party, and we connected pretty well.
Yeah.
And to figure out there's someone so similar that's into the hardcore scene, that's in Huntington Beach too as well. It's just nice to have you here. And
Twinsie.
Yeah, exactly. And nice to represent Orange County and Huntington Beach and all that we do. And you do a podcast as well too, right?
Correct. Yeah, we it's fairly new. My wife and I, she goes by the moniker Juicy J. We do a hardcore podcast. We've done a couple. We do live streams too.
Nice.
So we're just trying to promote hardcore, hardcore techno, and I'm sure we'll talk about it throughout the podcast.
Yeah. And I'd love to hear about that. So how'd you get the name DJ Full Auto? Where did that come from?
My love of machine guns. Yeah, my dad raised me, and he was just like a guy's guy.
Yeah.
And so growing up in like the 80s and the early 90s, all the action movies, the Terminators and Predators and all the
RoboCops, all that
RoboCop
shit.
and the gang movies and all that, man. I always loved machine guns and stuff like that. And plus I talk nonstop too. So yeah, it just fits.
Nice.
And it fits the hardcore genre too.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So that's
thanks,
sort of
bro.
your moniker, your speed, your history, and your upbringing sort of brought you to that.
100%.
That's awesome. So you're hardcore since birth, basically. That's what you're raised into.
Yeah, I would say so. I got it from my dad. My dad was pretty hardcore, and so I got it tattooed on my chest when I was 16, and I thought it was goofy then, but I guess it was something.
Nice. So how far back? I know you're one of the OG legends of the hardcore scene. How far back do you go? And when was your first show? When did you first fall in love with hardcore? And tell us how it sort of started for you.
Well, I'll say this. I got to correct you. I wouldn't call myself a legend. But thank you. I appreciate the compliment, but there are some freaking legends out there that I don't put a candle to.
That's very humble of you.
But it's just the truth, man. But OG, I guess so. Yeah, I started partying in the mid 90s. So 95 is when I went to my first party here. And I'm actually from LA originally, born in Santa Barbara, but raised in LA. And then eventually I moved out to Orange County. But I mean, I don't know how raw you want to get into it. I can tell you how I got into the raving scene.
Yeah, tell me.
Drugs.
Yeah, a lot of us, right? We started somewhere. I could relate to that.
It's a funny story. So it was 10th grade, and man, I was about it. But I listened to metal and punk, and I didn't listen to techno or I'll just say electronic music. It was lame, But there was a girl in my English class who we just connected and stuff, and she was a raver. She told me she was into raving, and they party and they do all these drugs and they listen to stuff. And I was like, yeah, that part sucks, but can you get drugs? And she's like, she goes, yeah. So I said, so I was trying to buy acid off of her, and we were passing notes in class.
Oh, right.
And the teacher intercepted the note.
Damn.
And he told me to stay after class. So I stayed after class, and he was actually cool. He could have taken the note and got me in trouble, but instead he was like, dude, man, what are you doing? And da-da-da, gave me the guilt trip. And then the funny part is that he was like, you do what you want, man, but you don't be out there corrupting these nice girls and stuff. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, dude, she's selling me the fucking acid, dude.
Yeah. She's the corrupted one, right?
But I didn't drop a dime on her or anything like that, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And so later on, she was all stressed out, after I left, and she's like, hey, what happened? Are we in trouble? And I was like, no, we're good. And then she's like, I told her that, he was like, he thought that I was corrupting you. And so she was, then we became even friendlier. She came through, she hooked me up. At the time I was hanging out with just a bunch of essays and vatos. We lived in this apartment where they were tattooing. We were all just partying. So she dropped it off one night, and then she was with her whole party crew.
Yeah.
And she's like, you got to come out with us. You got to come to this rave. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll try one time.
Which one was it? What was
Dude,
the first
I
rave?
honestly can't even remember the name
too
of my
faded.
first party,
Yeah.
dude. There's been so many, and I'm trying to remember the name of the first party she took me to, but it was definitely in LA, somewhere like, I want to say in Watts or somewhere in a warehouse. And
the underground back in the day.
yeah, the break-in period,
Oh, yeah.
and in the podcast we talk to the legend, the OG Ron DeCore, the godfather of West Coast hardcore, and he goes through like all the different phases of like the rave scene. And I guess there was a phase before the break-in period that was, I was telling you about how they kind of had a hustle with commercial real estate people.
Yeah.
Where they would just like pay them $500 and get a key. But, people didn't burn the spot. There was respect between promoters and stuff like that. But I do remember this, the first DJ that I've ever seen in my life. Like I walked into a party and I'm seeing colors and tripping and all that. And I saw it was Frankie Bones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just remember he looked so cool too, man. He had like a cigarette in his mouth and he was doing his thing, and he was playing like, I don't know, acid techno or something back then.
Yeah.
But to make this full circle, this girl and her crew just happened to be hardcore heads, man.
Oh, okay.
And there's not a lot of hardcore heads. It's a very
It's
small
a
population.
niche.
It's definitely a niche within EDM.
For sure.
But they got me into it, and actually I spun a track today that was the first track that I ever heard that actually got me into EDM, and that was Ron DeCore. It's a track called My Ass.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, she knew I was like, and so she was like, Sean, you got to hear this. And it had metal guitars in it.
Yeah.
And it had like porn samples in it. I was like, this is dope, dude. Yeah, I'm about this, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of opened the door, and I started, it was like from 95 to almost 98. It was like every weekend, man, just, hitting the parties.
Nice.
Yeah.
All over LA, or did you travel, go other places?
Yeah,
Or was
I
this sort
traveled
of-
some, like San Bernardino. There was like this water park place on the way to Vegas. Not like too far outside, because LA had like a dope scene back then.
Yeah,
It was kind of like
yeah.
the golden era. But yeah, a lot of abandoned warehouses in the hood, and
Right.
also just funny random places. And back then it was all illegal,
Yeah, it
and
was all underground, right?
all underground. There was a hotline that you called, and then you got a map point, and then there was a blue van in front of Albertsons, and they gave you directions. And it was crazy, dude, because then it was like, that was about the time where there would be like 3 and 4 parties a night or a weekend, and promoters were like calling the cops on each other and stuff like that to break up that party to get the people over. And so like getting to the place was like a whole mission. Like sometimes they would give you reverse directions and tell you, hey, just go like where it says left, actually go right and do, crazy stuff like that. But, looking back on it, it was like the adventure, man. It was, just a huge adventure to get there. So.
Yeah, I remember some of my first underground raves in LA were all group text when text messages first came out, right? And so it'd be like, here by Skid Row, go 3 blocks to the right, and then you'll see the lights at the warehouse, red and blue at the top.
Yep.
And then go through the right door, and then there you boom, boom, you just hear the system going, right?
You would either hear that or you hear the nitrous tanks.
Oh,
And you're like, oh, I think we're close.
Yeah,
you
the
would hear
NOS
the nitrous
tanks.
tanks go, the NOS tanks going.
yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah,
Yep.
the deadheads out there selling the Sid, and there's the shroom people out there with the gold caps, blue caps, and all that shit. It was like a full blown party when I started. It was deep in that.
Yeah, man. It was a good time. It was fun. I found out later on, because I just randomly got into it, right? That I just happened to fall into it during like what's considered the golden era of, raving in LA, especially for the hardcore scene. And man, it was fun. I had fond memories. It's definitely like, that's not the scene today. You know what I mean?
It's way different.
It's
man.
way different now.
It's way different.
And it's crazy because like electronic music has gotten way more popular than it ever was back then.
Yeah.
But hardcore hasn't really grown with it. And we all have our reasons or opinions about why that is. But yeah, I mean, it's cool that like EDC and, you know, back then Pascal was doing these like tiny little parties and stuff.
Yeah.
And
He was passing out flyers back then.
passing
when
out
you were
flyers, him and
starting.
his mom, I think, or something like that. Were, you
Yeah.
know, but he was, you know, props to him, man. He had the foresight and the ambition and
His
the
vision.
entrepreneurial, yeah,
It's
to make it
crazy
happen.
vision. Yeah. That's what I told him. I said, dude, the dudes that I knew that are working with us now, you used to pass out flyers for, now you're running the whole show. And Pascal told me, he says, man, you know, just never forget about why you do it. Is you got to love it. Don't let it become a job. Let it become your love. And he
100%.
says, he told me that's the secret to his success. Is he loves what he does, you know, similar to me, similar to you. We just do it because we love it. We love the industry. We love the music. We love the people, the passion, the connecting. And that's really what brought you and I together on the podcast, you know, is to share that story of hardcore and share that story of media and futures and raves and shows and events. And I just see so many ways we could collaborate on that, right? So especially as a bass music artist myself, as Cubanoid, doing dubstep and rhythm, it's very heavy infused with like what's maybe to my generation the modern hardcore, you know? It's the heavy bass, it's the guitars, it's the loud sounds, it's the yelling, it's the screaming, it's the crazy like ad libs and, you know, the suck my dick and you and this and that, and where other genres would never play that.
Yeah.
And so that's what I fell in love with it. It's, for me, it's like an expression of darkness, to express deepest, darkest desires in your soul in a positive way with music that could be interrelatable to other people, you know, that's nice. So
That's a good way to put it, man. I agree with that, what you just said at the end there. It's like hardcore to me, like within the ecosystem of the EDM and rave and all that, it's always been like, you know, the redheaded stepchild, the
Yeah.
like, you know, the
black sheep.
the black sheep, the bad kids, the, you know, the one no one wants. But, you know, it was a place for those kids, you know, to get together that had, you know, most of them came from broken homes and have tough luck stories and all that stuff. They're naturally kind of attracted to that music.
Yeah.
But the part that what you said was so proper and right is that, like, a platform and an area for them to get together, not gangbang, not do violent shit,
Yeah.
like to just be together and like there's a camaraderie and we have, you know, similar interests and, you know,
Yeah, to be
that's what's cool,
positive, right?
Make something positive out of it.
Yeah, something that could be so negative, right? Like drug addiction, like mental health, like violence, like prison, like death, you know, things we've all experienced and seen.
Yep.
But take that community and put it in a safe place where they can say, hey, I could relate to you. I understand. You have tattoos. I have tattoos. You've been somewhere. I've been somewhere. But that doesn't matter. We're here for a different reason. We're
Yeah.
here for the love of the music.
Yep.
We're here for the love of the sound. And for guys like you and me, the love of the art of the DJ. You know, we love DJing, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, I thought when I would see those DJs early on, it was so cool. And we were talking about that, you know, today, obviously. The big difference is back then, the DJ was just like a nerd in the corner.
Yeah.
You know, and the focal point, like, was this, like, the speaker system, right? And everybody would speaker worship and be sitting inside the subs and holding on the subs and everybody holding each other. And there was just like this dope energy. And, you know, number one, the DJ kind of needed to be alone because it was all vinyl.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, it was a lot more complicated. And so they need to focus and can't really have, you know, people coming up, hey, what's up, buddy? And, you know, take a picture, do a selfie, like that kind of stuff, like wouldn't work. But it felt like it was just really about the music, man. Especially with like hardcore and the harder styles. Like you either go in there because you love that stuff, or you're not. Yeah. You'll get cleared out of the room quickly if you're not into that music.
Really
man.
quick, yeah,
really quickly.
So tell me, how was it back then when you started? Like, how hardcore were there? Hardcore mosh pits, or were people mobbing? Were people chill? Like, how was sort of the scene back then to now?
I will give you, like, obviously, you know, only my opinion and what I saw. It evolved beyond that. So, like I said, I came from the metal and the punk world where, like, you know, especially the punk scene, man, the pits and stuff were, like, if you got in the pit, you knew
shit was going down.
Shit was going down. Like, you were gonna fight. Like, it was, you know what I mean? It's like wild because it's like a bunch of guys running into each other and it's like, oh, what the hell, you hit me? It's like, well, no shit, isn't that what we're doing here? But, like, yeah, inevitably egos and, you know, all that stuff. And on top of it, there was crews that would go looking, you know, hey,
they're looking for, right?
Let's go crack some skulls tonight, you know?
Yeah.
So when I was in the hardcore techno scene, there wasn't a whole lot of that. Now, I heard that it kind of like evolved into that, but like I said, I was kind of in that golden era before it got fractured. It was just called like hardcore and gabber. Gabber was like the other word they use, and I think that's a term from Holland, you know, because that's where a lot of it's originated from. And so there wasn't like a happy hardcore and speedcore and terror and all that stuff. It was all kind of all one.
Yeah.
And I was in it up until it felt like you could feel like it was starting to like, so there was like DJ Tron, rest in peace. He was like, you know, if anybody you know that's into hardcore that talks about DJ Tron, they hold him with great reverence, as I do. And I'm so stoked that I got to see him spin back in the day. He was from Chicago.
Yeah.
And he kind of was like taking it to like a harder side where, you know, and then I remember at a time where he started clearing out the hardcore room. Like even the hardcore heads were like, okay, this is too fast. This is too hard. But then there was still a small group of us who were like, yeah, dude, chainsaw and horror samples and all this crazy stuff. And then there was DJs that were doing like the full on just bouncy, happy hardcore that the really hard heads were like, oh, that's cheesy. That's lame. That's not hardcore, you know? But unfortunately, I feel like it got a little too fractured. Like, I think we kind of cut off our noses to spite our faces kind of thing. You know what I mean? And so...
Would you say that's what happened between the hardcore genres? They all just sort of took their opinion and split apart? That's what sort of took apart hardcore?
I think so. I think that, you know, and it's like, you know, when you have a genre of music like that is like, the word is hardcore. Like, so right away, you know what you're getting yourself into, right?
Yeah.
And like, you know, even though there's a stereotype and stuff like that you're going to have some like roughnecks and knuckleheads, it's true. You are, you know what I mean? So somehow, like, at that time, it was so new and fresh and exciting, and it like the egos like hadn't, you know, gotten too big yet. You know what I mean?
That happens.
Yeah,
genre hate and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
Dude, it's
terrible.
It's lame because then it's like, you know, 20 years later, you're like, fuck, man, I miss the good old days. It was like, well, dude, you're starting to it up then. You know what I mean? Like, let's all respect the scene. Go have a good time. Don't burn the spot. Don't fight. Don't, you know what I mean? Like, handle your drugs or don't do them. You know, that kind of stuff, man.
Versus everyone overdosing now. You got to have medics walking around all the time, spotlighting you. I mean, it kills your vibe. I'm sure even when I started raving, it wasn't like that. Someone's up, you picked them up and took them out, took them home. Nowadays, people are just letting people die on the floor and walking over them, you know? It's a sick scene. I remember, EDC 2009, rest in peace, is this girl that I was there with the night before, and then she died the next night, the second day of the EDC, because of dehydration. And I had the last selfie with her on a Sony CyberShot camera before she died, and no one even noticed she was dead. She just passed on the floor, thought she was asleep for like 20 minutes till she just pronounced dead. So that's one of the reasons them and then the girl that got trampled from the fence that fell when Lil Jon was there in 2010. That's why they had to move it to Las Vegas.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that's why they moved to Vegas.
Yeah, because people were getting killed. Literally, I was there when the fence was coming down. We were the first ones in the Coliseum. I went there early. This is back when John Digweed and all them would open up, and then they put the fence up and no one else could come in because limited capacity. And so, you know, LA's sort of hood and ghetto, always been that way. So people just started hopping and pushing the fence, and no plur at all. And Will.i.am was on, and they booed Will.i.am off the stage, and they told me, oh, get off the stage, get the fuck off. And people started getting pissed off Will.i.am was there. So Little John had to come on the stage and start yelling, hey, everyone quit jumping the fucking fence. And all of a sudden, I was right there next to the fence. Boom! The fence comes down on top of everyone, and people are trampling ravers.
Then it becomes a stampede, right?
It's a stampede, scary, bro.
Dude. I've been in one, man. It's gnarly.
No
matter how big or how strong you think you are,
you're
man.
dead.
Don't fall down.
Especially a fence on top of you, because once the fence is on top of you, you're getting crushed by the fence. So I watched people get crushed next to me, and luckily I hopped right out the way, and I was a little bigger, so I pushed my way out the way. But the girls and little people, small guys,
unfortunately,
they got crushed. So LA said no more at that time, and that's what EDC 2011 happened in Las Vegas. And so it's just crazy. You know, I've seen it evolve from, you know, underground to fun to stadiums to I had to move out of the state to got banned to now it came back to now it's camping to so many things. And it's sad because our own people fuck up the culture, you know, like you're saying. But if we're all just responsible and supposed to do what we're supposed to, all right, plur and help each other and love each other and pick each other up, none of that would be happening.
Even do it selfishly because you don't want the scene to go away.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you don't care about other people or anything like that, like you love it, you enjoy it, you don't want it to go away, you don't want to ruin it, don't screw it up for like selfish reasons if that's what you need, you know, if that's the advice you need. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But like, why would you, I mean, unless like you're just not into it and you hate it, but those aren't the people that are ruining it. You know what I mean?
No.
It's all the other BS. It's funny because I was having a conversation with somebody, I forgot what it was, and it was crazy how very little bad things kind of happened back then, considering that you had this large group of kids on every psychedelic drug in a broken warehouse in the worst neighborhoods in LA, they were in the like the warehouse neighborhood, so not necessarily like in the neighborhoods.
Right.
Which
They're
made them a little
industrial.
safer, right?
Yeah.
But still, I mean, a lot of homeless and cars got broken into all the time,
yeah.
right? That was just, but like you would think that it was just like every night bad shit would happen, and there was this camaraderie, man. It was cool. Like even like today with like all the different, people like are so segmented today and the different sexual classes and all that. I mean, back then, like the hardcore room, every room you go into, you would see, trans, you would see gay people, you would see people dressed up, and we were all just together. But like, you know what I mean? Just we walked by each other and we're just like, start talking and laugh and you shoot a joke. And, But it was like kind of like it's like we knew we had something good going on.
Yeah.
And we didn't ruin it. It was really a safe place for anybody.
Yeah.
For anybody that was down to not ruin it. You know
As
what
it
I
should
mean?
be. Yeah.
So
versus now you have all the types of hate and cultural bias, religion bias there. I mean,
exactly.
Immigrant
now
bias.
it's made just a divide, right?
Yeah, and even political bias too.
That's right,
are you
man.
red? Are you blue? Are you green? It's
dude,
like,
you got to pick a color now, man.
Dude.
It's so gang banged out now.
It's gang banged. Everything
is, man. It's crazy.
And it's unfortunate, but that's what I'm hoping that the scene starts realizing is that more people are coming together. It's growing. It's international now. It's inspiring other countries. Third world countries are now having their first raves in stadiums ever from stuff that started here in LA with guys like you and I that were going the underground. So I think it's still alive. It just needs to be revived.
Definitely.
Yeah,
no, hardcore will never die. We got this mantra, and it never will. But it's it's definitely like hiding in a closet, like in a tiny little closet somewhere. But there's a bunch of people, there's a bunch of OGs that have been holding down the fort this entire time.
Yeah,
trying to keep it going, and it's just gonna take some people to come together, like people that have the energy, the charisma, the love, the passion, and it can't be about the money, dude. You know what I mean? If it's like, because then it's like if it becomes about the money, then everything that has to be the bottom line. Like every decision you make is okay. Does it serve the money? And that just kills it, right?
It kills the whole
thing.
Kills
it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what I really see, and that's why I do Cube World Media the way I do, without charging, without looking for money, without asking people for things, without asking for favors or nothing like that. It all comes organically, right? If it's meant to come, it's gonna come.
Usually when you bring it like that, like it does like come, right?
It does,
because it's so genuine and real and not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
you
it
can
just
feel
works
it.
out that way, But it's there's. We live in America, man. It's people come out here to make money. You can make money out here, but the negative side of that coin is that everything is really money based. And for music, to me, music is everything. I mean, aside from hardcore, my dad was really into music, and he got me into. I mean, I love pretty much every genre of music. I have all my records.
No, that's great. Yeah.
And I was saying on another thing, to me, music, it's like the one thing that you can actually try. It'll never let you down.
Yeah.
There's a music for every emotion, no matter how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And for the people that won't expand their horizons, they're missing out because, like maybe you're feeling sad and melancholy and like gangster rap or hardcore just isn't the right, dude, branch out, listen to other music,
Yeah.
We're all going to have our natural propensity to go towards certain musics that we relate with, that we really feel. But man, just like music is probably music and food. For me, it's music one, food two, but for a lot of people, it's probably food one, music two. It's, to me, it's the best part of humanity. It really is.
It is.
There's so much ugliness and negative in humanity, but one thing that humans do amazing is art and music, and I love it.
And that's what brings people together from all over the world is music. You could speak a whole different language, but still love the same kind of music. And you could look at someone and just relate to them without even saying anything, Yeah.
And
I think that's the most beautiful part about it, that the few times I've gone up there and had crowds and DJ'd, you could feel the energy of the room. You could connect with people. You could meet people you would have never met, and it takes you places you may have never been. The festivals and raves, I've been all over the world, from the largest ones to the smallest ones. I met some of the coolest people and some of the worst people, but in between there, you find your medium, you find your ground and your crew and all that, and then you get to start traveling, you start touring, you start managing, you start DJing and producing and doing all these fun things that you would have never done without music,
Yeah, the experiences to me, that's like one thing I've learned, that I have a tattoo here on my neck from the movie Heat, and there's a small scene where the guy goes, the action is the juice, and it always like really connected with me because to me, it's all about the adventure, man. It's not really like the end product. It's like the getting there, all the stuff. Like it's like you said, and like when you go to these festivals or you go to concerts, you know, a lot of times the stories you remember and you talk to people about are like something that happened with other people, some engagement with other people, or like, you know, like when I traveled to Europe or wherever, I never talk about like the buildings that much. Like, oh man, this building. I talk about like, no, we went to this bar, we met this person, and we had this adventure, and it was so cool, and they were so rad, and that kind of stuff, right? So I just love the adventures.
Yeah, it takes you on so many, and I think you started way back when. You said on vinyl, right? When you started
Correct.
DJing.
Yeah, and I still spin vinyl.
Oh,
I
nice.
love vinyl. Like to me, I wish that I could have every track that I love on vinyl. I just like the way it feels. I like it. It just if you've spun on vinyl, there's this connection with that medium. But I'm also not a what's the word? I'm not like vinyl or nothing kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like I understand that like there is a lot of benefit to the technology and the cool things. I think we were talking about it earlier again. Like if you can learn all of it and have the tools and all of it, that's where you're really stoked, because that's where like if you have real creativity, you can blend all, and like the world is endless.
You could take over the Sphere. I mean, look what Anima did with the Sphere, right?
Yep.
His first few years of really being out there, and he had Tiesto opening up for him at the Sphere. You know, Illenium, he had Shaq opening up for him at the Sphere. So these guys now, what's really inspired me, some of those people I mentioned, is mixing the animation and the art and the visuals and the lighting and the lasers and syncing it with your own music, the production and your DJing skills, and blending that all together to create a story and almost like a movie and an epilogue of your message you're trying to put out there. You know, whether it's from recovery like how Illenium does, whether it's just from mosh pits and stuff like Shaq does, or whether it's telling the story of the future and robotics and AI like Anima does. Everyone's sort of putting out their story through music and DJing now, and I just think it's so cool. And so that's what inspired me a lot as Cubanoid to create the character and become immersed in it. And the goal is eventually, you know, to tell a whole story of Cubanoid, of how machine is now forging with humans, and maybe not physically, even though it is, and there is advanced robotics and prosthetics and heart implants, all types of shit. So yeah, cyberpunk's starting to happen. And then the next part, though, is that the music's being infused with it. So now you got AI-generated music. You got all these new synthesizers and tools like Massive and different things that Serum that you didn't have before. And you could produce all these new sounds and frequencies that are just foreign to what our known version of Earth is. And so I think with that, we're creating new memories, new environments, new landscapes for the future generations to enjoy and take to the next level of what the original OG generations had created and founded. You said perfectly. I was talking to somebody else. We were talking about movies. Well, a couple of things. One, I got to circle back and answer the question. So in my time in hardcore, it was pretty like camaraderie all together. There wasn't a whole lot of, I mean, there might have been some like little pushing here and there where like people got amped up, but I wasn't in the mosh pit era where like the hardcore room was like full on like a punk show and stuff like that. I know it did get into that. But man, when I was in it, it was just, if I could paint a picture, imagine 500 people, like everybody like arm in arm, hands on shoulders at the speaker. There'd be this cute little Hispanic girl like with a whistle and Mickey Mouse gloves, and people are climbing on this, and it's just the vibe, just in unison, it was going down, man. It was. I got chills just thinking about it because it was so much fun, and I'm so stoked that I got into it then. I probably wouldn't be into this music if I hadn't landed in that golden era, because it was such a special time. And then going over to the other thing you were saying about, I love visuals in music too, and creating a story. I always want to do that. I'm like, why did they get rid of music videos, dude? I love music videos, man. Why'd they get rid of those? That's the best part of it, yeah.
Who said I don't like these? Let's get rid of them. I'm like, man, it adds like this other layer that the artist can do that's like, so here's my music and here's the visual side of it too, that it's like my, you know, it's just another layer of creativity that you can add to it that I love doing. And then telling a story, like you said, whatever that story is. It doesn't have to be academic. It doesn't have to be super personal. Like if you just want to do whatever, but at least telling a story with music and visuals. And then lastly, with regards to AI, you know, the thing about AI is this: I think the people that are creative, they're the ones that are going to survive it, because as long as you use AI and all these things as tools to further your creativity, it works wonderfully. But the people that are just like, oh, cool, I'm going to use AI and I'm going to be able to get, no, you're not going to be able to, because the creative people are gonna, are still, they're the ones that are really gonna,
Take it to the next level.
Yeah, because now they're not hamstrung by having to like have all the technical abilities and stuff like that. They have their creativity. They can tell this computer what to do, and it starts spinning out for them. They're just like, but
Yeah.
you have to have that initial creativity to make that happen.
No, you have to. You have to come up with original ideas, original themes. I mean, AI is only as good as you prompt it. And then even then, like we were talking, you still have to know how to edit it, how to put the reels, how to, sharpen the edges.
Man,
and
it's
how to
work.
It's work,
It's
bro.
work.
I mean,
Yeah.
even putting the podcast here, the
Yeah.
live stream, to the VJ, to the lights, to the lasers. You got to know how to sync everything just right, or else
Yeah.
you look retarded doing it. You know?
It's funny you say, because it's like, it's not just two people sitting there talking. There's so much to it, especially if you want it to work good.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you care about the details and the little things, all the prep work, all the post work. But to me, it's worth it because, again, you're creating like these little stories through music and visuals and things like that. And it's just a way for me to express, my creativity, which is funny because it's not even like, I'm not even trying to tell my story. I'm trying to I'm trying to tell my feelings, how I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel
Express yourself.
Like, because, a lot of the music that I like is like pornographic and hardcore and violent. And it's just like, yeah, like my whole life, I've always liked sex and I've always like, those weren't bad things. And like, those are the feelings that I tend to want to like express through music and that medium and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I don't think there's, I always say, man, like as long as adults and consensual, it's all good, man.
Exactly.
Right? Those
No,
are the
exactly.
two main things.
Yeah. No, I've been down that road too. Everything for me, it was like at one point, sex, drugs, and money. That was the main thing. Now I got most of the drugs out of it, and then the sex just went up, and then
Yeah.
hopefully the money goes up with it.
Yeah.
So that's life for me. You got to have fun. You got to have, I love having beautiful people around me. My wife's the most beautiful one of them all to me, but even with her, it's great, and she's accepting of that. And just to have like-minded people, that understand that life's fun and enjoy life and get the most out of life, and don't be closed-minded, be open-minded, and that's what I love so much about the rave culture and the community. It's a lot of guys like you and I that are really open-minded and could express that freely. And where in other places, in corporate or work or at a regular job, you done,
No.
or even at your friends at a dinner. Oh, what did he say? Or what the?
I've lived two lives my whole life because this has never paid my bills, so I've always had to have jobs. And
Exactly.
You can't, what I mean? It's funny because I haven't always been able to like keep it in, but you got it right because you get in trouble and people aren't, open-minded and whatever. But I have to really quickly say, when you mentioned your wife, and I got to give some love to my wife because I have the most amazing, and I'm not just saying this because it's like, I'm going to get hit with a spoon if I don't say it when I get home. I really have the most amazing wife that's just so supportive of all the stuff I do. Because I'm like you, dude, where I've got like 1,000 hobbies and I'm doing all this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, most people are just like, man, I ain't dealing with all this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not only is she like supportive of it, she helps me with it.
Isn't
man.
that the best thing
Dude,
when you
I
have a
mean,
woman that helps you
bro,
work?
I don't think you can have true success if you don't have a partner that has got your back and supports you. And it sounds like you found your queen. I definitely found mine.
Exactly.
And I'm very appreciative that, that she allows me to have fun and she tries to have fun with me.
Yeah.
In our podcast, Juicy J, we co-hosted together, and it's awesome because she's not into hardcore, but she's like, well, let's review some records, and she'll just listen to this hardcore track and give like this very honest, raw, like, oh, this sounds like a marching band or whatever it is, but it's fun. And actually, in those videos, people really respond to them. They love that more than anything.
Because it's authentic, It's fun and it's real. And that's the great thing too. Like a lot, like what you guys do. My wife works with me a lot, and too, it's a day and night difference from my previous wives and relationships I've had. You
gotta kiss some frogs, bro.
Yeah, that woman makes you or breaks you, bro. I mean, I tried to start the whole media thing company with when my ex-wife was around, and fully unsupportive, fully didn't come by, didn't care at all. Just wanted to be at home, wanted to go shop, just wasted money. Current wife, always here, always supportive, brings food, turns things on, wants to learn, wants to download music, wants to help me DJ, wants to travel with me and drive me around so I can make more deals. It's day and night difference. And since I've had her, literally it's blown up 10 times what it was before, dude.
Yeah.
And you recognize that, right?
Well, one of the things, not only do you recognize it, but it like helps you become a better person because, just like you have had those other relationships where, I was in a relationship, but I wasn't really feeling it. And so like, if those people did something that I wasn't into, I'm not into that. But now like, I'm like, wait a minute, this person, this woman makes so much sacrifice and is so cool. I need to be open-minded because she has her interest and likes and her idiosyncrasies, and it's like, I've got to be, you got to make compromise.
You got to meet halfway, right?
Yeah, you got to meet halfway on it. It goes both ways, dude.
That's what she's done. She's made me a lot less violent, a lot more calm, a lot more loving, a lot more chill. So I'm sort of like the fire, she's like the water.
But there's also that balance too, right? You know what I mean? Like, she's the biggest sweetheart, but I think she likes that she has a protector, someone that's going to be like protector.
Oh, you have to have one.
Like, no matter what, dude, you know what I mean? I'll lay my life down for her, like without even thinking about it, But she softens me too. Like, everything doesn't have to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, take a breath, dude.
Yeah. That's what we were doing today. I was getting all hyped up. I was like, do what Navy SEALs do. Do the 4 breathing technique. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. 4 seconds in, 4. I was just going on a fucking rant about that I hate, that we ran into this issue, and we pulled guns on each other back in the alley in New York. And I was she's like, just stop, just calm
Deep
down.
breaths, man. Woopsa.
She's like, it's not today. It's not be. He's not. I was like, that shit. And then so finally I calmed down. I was like, you're right, and now I'm gonna go back to my happy self, my music, and it just balances you out so much more, so you don't end up having a stroke or high blood pressure or heart attack. So many dudes
that
are
stuff
having
doesn't help you. You know what I mean?
It hurts you.
It just hurts you because nothing positive comes out of that stress and that anger and all that stuff. And that's another thing that I've learned. The nice thing about getting older is it gives you perspective.
Dude, totally.
The thing that sucks, what sucks about getting old is that you don't get to take all that perspective and go back to your young 10-year-old self and go, hey, dude, I got the answers, man. This is all you got to do, and you're going to have the most amazing life. If you could do that, life would be amazing. But you do have the perspective, and, you start learning these lessons like, all right, maybe that's not worth it, and, that's too much stress, and, you learn all these cool things. So, but that's life, man, until they can figure out,
how to time travel back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, exactly. Like, if I'm looking at even 5 years ago, I'm a whole different person. 5 years before that, very different. 5 years before that, a complete different person, and I've grown, and good ones like you and I evolve,
Dude, always, man. Like,
always.
People say that, like, oh, you're always changing. I'm like, as I should be. I'm glad I am, dude. Like, I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to be the same person I was when I was 25.
Yeah. So many people are stuck in a time capsule, It's doing the same shit, same shit.
But you know what? That works for them. For us, it just will not work, man.
No.
It cannot,
We have to be growing. We have to be moving. We have to be doing stuff and always creating, I see you as a builder and a creator similar to myself, and as long as we're busy doing something, I think that's what makes us happy, right?
Yeah, idle hands are the devil's tools, man. That is so true with me, dude.
Yeah, I know. They start fucking up.
My worst times in life have always been when I was bored, man. Like, I just just bored, and it's bad things happen.
Dude, I know. That's when all the drugs and the violence and the sex turns to bad sex and bad people, and like
you go look for action, man. You're like, all right, I'm bored. Let's go find some action.
Yeah. Now when I'm bored, I'm like, I need to find more work. I need to find more stuff to do. I need to inspire someone to create more music and learn how to do this skill or that skill. So I've learned to drown myself in all the noises and in positivity and work and growth and creation and inspiring other people to do it as well. And with that, I found no time to do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So
that's the other thing. That's right. When you keep yourself busy with positive stuff, you don't have time to go do the
time for the bullshit, bro. And so that was the way that I reformed myself, because I'm a former well-known person and a lot of things I'm not proud of, but a lot of people know about me, but they see the new version of me, the new version of Kevin, the Cubanoid, the Cube World, instead of the Matrix version, instead of the old version that I was, and they say, wow, what a growth, what a difference. And
that's all you can do, man.
That's all
you're going to fuck up so much. And the worst thing you can do is not learn a lesson from it, man.
Yes.
Right? That's it. If you can, right? Just learn it. Learn a lesson and practice applying that lesson, right? That's if you're doing that, you are winning.
Exactly.
You're winning,
the definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Yep.
And there's so many people that, think that I'm insane, or maybe some hardcore like you's insane, but they're the ones that are insane doing the same thing over and over again.
Dude, I say that all the time. I'm like, I trip out. Like, I'll see somebody that's like a total square, and I'm like, damn, like how do you become that? Like, how were they raised? But I'm sure, like, on the flip side, they look at me like, dude, what the hell? How did that kid get raised kind of thing? But
yeah.
Did you like the set? Like,
I loved it.
Okay,
dude.
cool, man.
No, I loved the set. It was really cool, really fast BPM, but I mean, it had my fingers going. I loved it. I loved the versatility of it, the different ethnicities, the clips you put in, and the sayings, and even the sexual stuff was funny. I was just laughing my ass off, bro.
There's always like a sense of humor. So I will say that, like, as much as like I have like all the porn and the violence and all that, it's always like tongue in cheek to a certain extent, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I do like those things, but also like this is supposed to be fun. This isn't like, you know. Man, I'm like so like, you know, I'm so like
welcome to hell.
Kind of shit. Like, no, man, this is fun. Like, this is like, I always say this. I say that, you know, things are like, if I make a joke or if I make music, you know, on things that are absurd, I call them absurd. The reason why you have to be able to like laugh at absurdity, at absurd things, because if you don't, it's too tragic.
Yeah.
And it becomes too depressing.
Yeah.
So you make light of it to deal with the absurdity of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's really, and a lot of people don't get that.
You know what that is positive psychology.
Yeah.
That's what that is. The definition of it is taking what anything could consider dark and looking at the positive aspects of it. That's
you
great.
could ask Juicy J, like, that's my thing, man. I've learned
That's great.
The second I have negative thoughts or I start tripping on someone, I'm like, no, go to something. Like, I can give you an example. Like, as you know, like in this world, you're going to have a lot of exposure online and, man, the comments online and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't gotten to the point where, you know, like I've got all these like crazy comments and stuff like that. But I always tell people that get caught up in that, I'm like, but look, do you realize it's like 20 to 1 positive comments to negative comment?
Yeah.
Do you just focus on all those? Look what all these people are saying. They're saying you're amazing and you're badass and all that. But you're so hung up on this one dirty comment. It's like, it's weird how we are like that, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm like, no, dude. Like, don't spend any energy on that fool that wrote that.
No.
But, man, throw some energy, you know what I mean, on these
Yeah.
people that are showering you with love and stuff. You
Yeah,
know? That's badass.
Yeah, inspire others, you know, which is
Exactly.
what you love doing and I love doing. And we both have podcasts in Huntington Beach inspiring people, you know.
We're lucky, man. We live in Huntington Beach. We live by the beach.
We're
We
blessed.
get to do what, you know, we enjoy doing, and we really are blessed, man. You know, and I wish that everybody would have that. You know, I know everybody doesn't, but at the same time, too, I don't take anything for granted, dude, because anything can change like that, too. And that's one of the things that I've learned about through age, too, man.
Yeah.
It can change like that.
Bro, and it's happened to me. Like I told you before, I was way up here, way down here, and way back up. It's crazy, you know. And that was another reason I created Cube World Media and the safe haven here for artists and musicians. You know, whether you're the broke kid starving in the ghetto just wanting to play some music, or whether you're a talented headlining artist, you know, I welcome all people that want to experience music and culture and podcasts and media into this place so that they could express themselves and express their talents and have a place to get on a microphone and put out a message to others. Because even if all the people that listen to this podcast once it airs, even if just one person gets inspired by what we said,
it's a lot.
We did our job, man. And it's probably gonna be way more than that. But you know, we're doing stuff. We're out here speaking. We're putting energy. We got people supporting us, people loving us. Did a badass set downstairs. You know, I'm excited to invite you to one of my shows and sets. And
I'd love to, man.
know?
I love it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the thing. Even like on our stream, what we do, so we basically have like 3 components to it. We do a live stream, you know, every couple of months or so, where I get 10 to 15 DJs on the hour just running it all day.
Yeah.
And man, we've had, you know, some of the OGs. Like, I'm so blessed to have these cool people like Fiend and Ron Decor and DJ Double G, one of the OG female hardcore DJs, which there are not a lot of, you know, back from the 90s, and Arcid and RPM and just all this local talent out here that are just, you know, I got to give them their shout outs. And they're still up. So we're also doing, like, I'm doing with Juicy J, I'm doing the podcast where we do interviews and record reviews and stuff like that.
That's
great. It's all in fun. And what's great about it, aside from like the inspiration it might do, dude, I'm having fun. I get to like meet like these people that I just love and pick their brains with and have this conversation, like have fun like this. And, you know, like, you know, I've had Ron Decor on. I know I'm going to have Double D on. Hopefully I can get Delta 9 on. We're going to go to Dominator this year in Europe. It's like the big hardcore
What
EDC.
city is that?
It's in Eindhoven. So I think it's like 2 hours south of Amsterdam. And it's funny because I think Eindhoven has always been this spot. They must have some place there, because back when I used to listen to a ton of death metal and stuff, bands would like release a live album and it was live from Eindhoven.
Oh, that was the spot.
Right. So there's some spot out there. But dude, like, imagine the EDC, but just all hardcore, man. Like
Yeah.
the production, and that's how it is in Europe. And
Yeah,
I'd love
yeah,
to see
yeah.
something like that get out here. And that's, we're not trying to like save hardcore or anything like that, but what we're trying to do is contribute back
Yeah.
to a genre and to a music that has given us so much and we have so much love for. And just I get inspired, and I still see the OGs, like I said, like Ron DeCore, like Lenny D, and Delta 9 as a producer, one of my favorite producers. There's a DJ named Mark Annan, a producer out of Australia, that was just one of my favorites. And, just being able to talk about them and hopefully get some of these people on, and allow them to just tell like raw, fun stories about, because that's the other thing for us nerds that are into this stuff.
Yeah.
The context is always really cool too, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so how did that happen? How did that? And they start telling you stories. You're like, damn, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's dope to learn
You
that.
can vibe with it. Yeah. Well, I love that. Well, what we're doing too with Cube World Productions, our other company we're getting the full stage line SL225 coming October. And one thing that I'm for sure going to be doing, I'm definitely invite you to and your people.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe we could collaborate on it because bass music and dubstep rhythm's not too far from hardcore.
Yeah.
It's really similar.
Like we said, all part of the same ecosystem too. This EDM
it's all
ecosystem.
EDM.
Yeah, it's all EDM.
But we're definitely like the darker side of
Correct.
the EDM. But
Correct.
both of us, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
And so I see it as potentially, what I love doing and the future of what I'm doing is bringing a lot of the OGs back, as you've seen with all the people we had, Mark's Place and all that from the 90s, the 2000s, and even after to my generation, and merging all the music together.
Yeah.
So that way you get the best of the 90s, the best of the 2010s, and then the modern day, and putting it on a stage and having different people play.
Yeah.
And so the newer generation might get inspired some of the 90s, the older generation might inspire some 2010s, and that's how I think we're going to grow
Having
the
the variety
music.
is awesome too.
Yeah.
Man, right.
And so
just all that variety, because a lot of
Yeah.
times you don't even know if you're into something unless you hear it, unless
No,
you're
you don't
exposed
know.
to it.
You're like,
right?
oh, what's that? That's cool.
I mean, dude, let me ask you this: as a fan of music, how cool is it to hear your favorite song that you haven't heard yet, man? That is like one of my all-time favorite feelings. Like when I hear a song that I'm like, this is like my new favorite song.
Yeah.
Like just a new song
It just
that's
hits.
it's just like you listen to it over and over. And I see it. I have a 5-year-old and he's really into music. And every song to him, like that he likes, he listens it 20 times in a row. He's falling in love with music for all these songs for the first time that he's never
That's
heard.
how we were as kids.
Yeah, that's how we were
Exactly.
kids. And I'm still that way now. Like it's those songs are far and few between because I've heard so much of it, but it still exists. There's still people making good music. There's still music that I have not heard.
Oh, yeah.
And I just, man, DM me my next favorite song, man, because I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what you think of some of the ones I texted you. Those are-
I was, from what I heard already, I dug it, man. And like we were saying, it's the one thing that I think that I'd love to see is just a lot of camaraderie within the EDM scene. There's something for everybody. We don't have to be separate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no more genre hating, none of that bullshit.
Why?
Dude, we're all in the same community.
Don't be too cool.
Yeah,
You know
we're
what
all
I mean?
using the same instruments. I mean, come on, man.
Exactly. Look, I don't like tomatoes. You don't like potatoes. So what? But we both like food?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
We're
right?
still gonna eat, right? So that's what I'm excited to bring next to, to Huntington Beach, Orange County, LA, is doing our pop-ups, doing our stages, and, let's try to put a little lineup together and get some of your,
I'd love to.
Your favorite guys, from the Ron DeCores to the Lennys, and I'll get some of my favorite guys, from the Arm & Hammers to the Sudden Deaths, and whoever we could pull and make a cool little venue local for Southern California and make it bass and hardcore.
Well, dude, you got, this studio that we're in, man. I know other people that have been on with you have like said this is bad. You're like the Willy Wonka of DJing, bro. You walked into like this whole world of like all like the baddest shit, man. I'm like everywhere I look, I'm like, holy shit, dude, it's so cool here, man. So like I'm stoked we met, man. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's just it's a candy store, man. But like the other thing that stands out beside that, you're not just like this, like, dude that had this money that threw, like you have a passion, bro. I can tell, like that you love this shit. So
I live for it. I live in the rave. The rave is my home. I live for it. And I spend all my free time doing music and traveling and learning and meeting and experiencing, right? It's all about the experience of life, because when we die, you can't take none of this with you.
Bro,
the only thing we're
take it with
taking,
you.
and is our memories. That's it. And if we
your impression on other people, that's all you leave, dude.
Yeah, and you only get one chance to make a first impression.
That's right.
So that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to bring the love back, the underground back, and positivity, and bring it to the masses, bring it to the commercial, and show them what it really is all about, so we don't forget that about the rave scene that you grew up in or that I grew up in, and take it into this modern era while still being able to do our art and producing and DJing and putting our friends and loved ones and OGs on as well.
And our kids, man. And our kids have those great experiences that we had.
Exactly.
You know?
And the future generation, my kids, your kids, be able to go to a rave and feel happy and safe and say, man, I remember my parents used to talk about raves. Now I'm the one's doing it, you know?
I kind of get that. I have a 25-year-old daughter, man, and she's about it. Well, she's not into hardcore, but I just love that she loves music and she loves going and experience it. And, you know, she understands that satisfaction and that feeling of being with people and enjoying music. It's really cool.
And that's beautiful, you know? And so that's us doing our job and doing it right and doing it because we love it and no other reason, you know? And that's really what brought us together. And I really look forward to all else you are going to do and what else.
Absolutely, man.
You know, DJ Full Auto grows into with Cube World Media, with Cubanoid, and
whatever we can do to support each other, man. I'm about it, dude. Like we're close. We both have a passion for it, and I think we both are. Like we have a lot of energy.
A lot, yeah. You're like me. You're like, well, all over the place like me. I can feel it.
I'm thinking 1,000 things, but thanks, man. Thanks for having me, dude. Thanks for being so damn cool too. Like a lot of people are, they have shit going on, but they're kind of like standoffish. And you've been the opposite of that. You've been nothing but super cool and welcoming and open to me, and I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming. It was a wonderful way to start our first podcast. Yeah. And
can I plug my stream real quick?
Let's plug in your stream and your socials and all that. Let the crowd know.
Yeah,
where to find you.
It's easy. I'm basically on YouTube. It's DJ Full Auto 13. Just look that up, and you'll see our podcast is called Hardcore Heavy Hitters, where we do the interviews. We've done 2 massive live streams. Go check out all the I leave them up and I chop them up, so each DJ set is up there too. And what's great about if you like hardcore, there's like so much variety. It's you will not be bored. If you're not into hardcore, check it out. See it. You'd be surprised. You might hear some stuff that you like. But DJ Full Auto 13 on YouTube. Me and Juicy J. And you know what? If you're like, well, I don't want to sit here and look at this clown all day. Juicy J, my wife, is on with me, and she's a lot better to look at. So there's that too.
That's really kind of you, funny. So awesome. And we'll definitely shout you out at Cube World Media, all of our socials at Cubanoid. And we'll plug that in as well with this episode so our viewers can find you. And we'll collaborate as much as we can. And we'll definitely do a follow-up episode. And
I'd love to have you on too, man.
No, I'd love to. Yeah,
dude, we'll do a little I'm excited, man. I just got chilled because I'm so excited about all the opportunities.
I love it, man.
Thank you again, man. You were cool, dude. You're a cool dude. Thank you, Kevin.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you very much.
So much. Hey, do a hug.
Yeah.
Do it.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right,
that was
brother.
fun.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Till next time.
Peace.
Oh, God. What happened? Casey's apartment. Jerry, no eyes, no ears. Jerry.
Who? Casey? What are you talking about?
The whole time I was with Casey, there's a little nub, and they're boobies, and pickles, Jerry, pickles.
Jennifer.
He tried to rape and kill Jennifer. And then he tried to rape me. And I turned the tables on him, just like you said. And I raped him. I raped her. I think I might be gay. Chainsaw Massacre!
Chainsaw Massacre. Phase 1. Phase 2. This is the final phase. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Let the massacre begin.
This is the Chainsaw Massacre! Let the blood spill!
Chainsaw Massacre.
Blood runs red, like a river of sin. Only darkness can win, because nothing else matters.
Chainsaw Massacre. This is the final phase. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Let the massacre begin.
This is the Chainsaw Massacre!
Chainsaw Massacre.
Gorgeous girls having anal sex with a strap-on dildo.
Oh, God, yes. Fuck my ass.
tell me the name of my DJ. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Show, analyze how the sound flow on the down low. Fuck around, lay around, ho.
Negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Let's go.
So I ball so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. First nigga gotta find me. What's the grand to a motherfucker like me? Can you please remind me? Ball so hard, this shit crazy. Y'all don't know that don't shit fade. And let's go over 82 when I look at you like this shit crazy. Ball so hard, this shit weird. We ain't even supposed to be rock now, take it up. Let's go.
Aren't they great?
My God. You look like a gangster.
Listen, you.
New York, you know why? New York City.
Tell me something today, tough guy. Listen, alright, I'll tell you something. Go fuck your mother.
And every once in a while, I'd have to take a beating. Once in a while, I'd have to take a beating. And every once in a while, I'd have to take a beating. But by then, I didn't care.
Always dreamed the boy I love would come along, and he'd be tall and handsome, rich and strong. Now that boy I love has come to be, but he sure ain't the way I thought he'd be.
Now go home and get your fucking shy box.
You know. True force.
Funny, how am I funny? What the fuck is that noise? Losing his fucking mind. A dude gets into power, and it's always that fake hard motherfucker. These fake hard ass fools, they don't care about their people because I went against all that shit. My whole thing is, I don't give a fuck and I'm ready to put my motherfucking life on the line for that shit. And my people, they saw that shit. If we just change the definition of hard, pussy ass motherfucker. If we just change the definition of hard, you're a bitch. Hard is sacrifice. Hard is discipline. Hard is sacrifice. Hard is discipline. Hard is sacrifice. Hard is discipline. Hard is sacrifice. Hard is truly getting your fucking result. Pussy. The fuck is that noise?
I've had women wiping their pussies all over me.
Motherfucker. You're a bitch.
I've had women.
This is exactly one of these motherfuckers. They honestly take the weakest route in every manner of life. Fucking pussy ass motherfucker.
I've had women wiping their pussies all over me.
My mother once told me that a man will fuck a snake if you hold his head. My mother once told me that a man will fuck a snake if you hold his head. My mother once told me that a man will fuck a snake if you hold his head.
Okay, you guys, get busy. I gave her a goddamn good fucking.
That bitch looks good. Say, how about me fucking this bitch?
You really want to pop this motherfucking bitch?
You goddamn right.
I've had women wiping their pussies all over me.
Okay, you guys, get busy.
Great Googa Mooga, sugar.
Shaft man.
Up and fucking for the next 2 days.
Hardcore stuff.
I've had women wiping their pussies all over me. I've had women wiping their pussies all over me.
California?
California.
From the west, from the west, from the west, like a broken mind. From the coast that's known for the surfing sign.
This is real hardcore rubbing action.
You have to remember the incredible conformity of Australia.
I'll make them pay.
Órale, vatos locos. Hey, homie, remember that one time we were at that ditching party? You put on that Drox track? That shit was fucking bad, eh?
Órale, carnal.
Simone, ese, I like that one song that goes boom, 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 boom. Simone, ese.
Shit was fucking bad, eh? Fou. That's my hardcore. Fou. Fucking bad, eh? Fou. Fou. That's my
Hey, but what about that one track that goes?
I like that one song that goes boom, 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 boom.
That's it. Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
That was smooth. Good? Killed it, yeah. Awesome. I was fucking with the lights to the beat.
Yeah, he was like,
Your fingers get tired, man.
DJing is a very